Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler V's, Series V's. I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I'd intended to eventually do this, but not anywhere near as early as I ended up doing so. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I am inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That's kind of the case today. I wouldn't exactly say I found it, but, because I've been to this spot a number of times. But I did get off work about an hour ago, and I'm still kind of dealing with a little bit of some sort of a cold or something. It's kind of bugging my throat a little bit. I wanted something nice and warm to kind of, just help out, just kind of ease things up a little bit, get some of the crud out. And, I've done Starbucks, I've done Dunkin', but there is a local spot that I'm a big fan of that I've reviewed a number of things from. Said spot happens to be, boom, it is Brewpoint Coffee. This is specifically from the Elmhurst location. Let me get a thing for a thing here real quick. We'll kind of do it like this. Ha 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 ha! Sure. So here's the thing. Like I said, I reviewed some stuff from Brewpoint before, and typically I go off of their special seasonal menus. Time I'm doing this, we're in winter, so they've got their winter menu out. And I mentioned in the previous review that I did some pomegranate plum tea. I think it was. Go look for that review if you're interested. I mentioned that at some point I wanted to start actually reviewing some of the stuff off just their normal menu. When I went in today, I went over there and I checked their winter menu, and it turns out I reviewed everything from it. So, I finally get to review something off their normal menu. But what is it? In this instance, it happens to be one of their signature drinks. This is their Borealis, which consists of honey nut sweet with oat milk. I don't know if it's a latte or a tea, or I don't know. But we're going to try it and find out together. Let's give it a go. Ooh. Well, that's super tasty. Yeah, I like that honey nut. Yeah. It's giving me some honey nut Cheerio vibes, man. Remember when the honey nut Cheerio had the bee, and the bee wasn't a jackass? But then they went over there and tried to give him attitude, and it's like, the bee doesn't need attitude. He's sincere. Okay? There's an honesty to the bee. Don't make him a jackass. I don't even know if they use the bee anymore. I haven't had honey nut Cheerios in I don't know how long. But no, that's immediately, it has that flavor to it. I'm going to say maybe it's a latte. I'll be honest with you, folks. I don't know the difference between most of the coffee stuff or whatever. It's one of their signature drinks, but it's definitely coffee-based. I'll say that. It's not like a tea or something like that. Really nice, really flavorful, very easy to drink, nice and creamy. And one of the reasons why I've kept going back to Brewpoint is the fact that at least for me, and again, I'm not a fucking coffee expert. I'm a fucking super coffee novice at best. At least for me, the quality just seems to be better. It seems like what Starbucks used to kind of aim for is kind of what Brewpoint actually does. Because there was a point, a very long time ago now, where Starbucks was seen as, being a little bit upper class coffee. It was a little bit fancier than your Dunkin', your mom and pop shops and stuff. And then as time has gone by, they very clearly at a certain point just realized that's not where the money was. And now, it's more about, goofy drinks and, and whatever. That's fine. I review that shit. The fucking, was it the Oiletto or some shit like that? The one where they use olive oil in it? Go watch that review. I reviewed it twice. But no, that's really good. I like the nuttiness of it. Like, it has a nice kind of, like, earthiness to the nut. And then, yeah, it just has, like, it's not, like, overly sweet or anything. It's just, like, this very sort of, kind of, yeah, just, exactly what it says. It's like it's a honey nut thing. And I think that the thing that makes it so nice is the fact that, well, aside from the fact that it's a nice drink, but I like the fact that you've got the honey, you've got, like, the, the nut, and then you also have, like, the oat milk. So it has a very earthy, very sort of just, like, homey kind of feel to it, Like, it just tastes, like, very nice and just, kind of warms you up. Not just, from the temperature of the drink, but it warms up your soul a little bit. I like it. It's really good. And as somebody who's not traditionally a big coffee person, something like this hits great for me, because it's got enough stuff in it that any, like, bitterness or anything like that from whatever the coffee would be, that's all, that's gone. It's a nice, very smooth, slightly sweetened blend. But then at the same time, because it's Brewpoint, like, you're still able to taste some of the quality of the coffee. And I cannot really express enough, like, just, the difference that makes. Because, again, it's like the difference between, what Starbucks kind of wanted to be, what they tried to be when they first started out, and then something like Dunkin', where it's like, I like Dunkin'. I've reviewed plenty of stuff from Dunkin', but, they go over there, a lot of their stuff is very gimmicky and bullshit, and, like, it's not really about the coffee. This, it's about the flavor, and it's about the coffee, and it just tastes like a really nice quality drink without feeling gimmicky. And I think that's fantastic. I think if there's one thing, maybe I would go over there and add to this, just to try it out, a little bit of cinnamon. I think that, and I don't know, maybe it would fuck with the honey a little bit, I don't know. But I think just a little bit of cinnamon just kind of adds that very earthy feel to it. But that's fantastic. I like that a bunch. But 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I have to go with yes and yes. I think that, like I said, normally I go off of their seasonal menu, and I've liked pretty much all of those. There's been some that I was a little underwhelmed with, but in general, I think that they, do a really good job with their seasonal stuff. So coming to their main menu, it was like, okay, is this going to live up to that standard, or, how's it going to go? And I would say, if anything, in some ways, it's maybe exceeded that standard, Like, there's definitely drinks that I've had from them in the past that I feel were maybe just a little bit more attuned to me personally, like the peppermint mocha stuff and things like that. But this is fantastic. So much so, and if you watch my channel long enough, you might know where I'm about to go with this. I'm calling this the business. And if you don't watch my channel enough where you know what that means, when I refer to something as the business, that means that basically it's just kind of a perfect item. Like, I don't really, yeah, you can maybe tweak it. You could do a little, like I said, a little cinnamon or what have you. But, like, functionally, it's just pretty much perfect as it is. And that's very much the case with this. Like, this is just really tasty, really good. Like, it's a really nice drink. And it's pretty much exactly what I want. It was like I said, I got crud in my head right now because I'm sick. This is fantastic. So I would 100% get this again. And if I'm recommending it, I am 100% recommending this. I think that this is one of those things where, if maybe the seasonal stuff seems a little bit too quirky for you, or, maybe you just, you're more of a main menu person, that's fine too. I think this is one that you could start off with from their menu and be very pleased with it. Because, again, I think the taste is there, I think the quality is there, and it's just nice. Like, there's absolutely nothing about it that I dislike in any way. So I would definitely recommend it. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there, have yourselves a truly Honey Nut Cheerios bee-tastic rest of your life. Because the bee, again, he doesn't need to be a jackass. Just leave him be. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what do you think about the bee, right? Or any, like old school cereal mascots? Like I said, I don't really keep up that much with cereal these days, so I don't know, like, how prevalent they are, but, like, I think that I kind of came up in the last, like, real golden age of cereal mascots. Like, I came up when cereal mascots had narratives to the commercials, okay? When you all kind of wanted to see the next commercial to see where it was going to get taken. But I do, and this was years ago now, I do remember watching like a YouTube video or something, like a commercial came on for Honey Nut Cheerios, and like they turned the Honey Nut Cheerios bee into a jackass, and I was like, I think I'm just too old. And I am, but anyway, let me know in the comments. Bye!